Breaking down Estacado sports. This is the Matador Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Good Monday evening. Welcome into the High School Fan Zone. I'm Randy Rosetta. This is 100.7 The Score and Fox News Now. I was just telling Mark Llanas, the Estacado baseball coach who's to my left, it's been a few Mondays since I've been here. I've forgotten a little intro to do on Monday. It's been, Brendan, what's it been, 3 weeks, 2 weeks?
Maybe since February 2nd?
I think so. Yeah, we've had playoff games, I think at least two. I know the two Liberty teams have played on Monday nights. We're going to talk about where we're at in the basketball playoffs briefly, but we're going to focus a lot on baseball tonight and then Wednesday night, because this week is the now named UMB Classic, correct?
Correct. Which
used to be the First Bank Classic, used to be the Seagrass Classic. Is that all the different names?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yep, it's the same tournament, just different sponsors. The banks change hands and whatever. Cal Seagrass, of course, for those who don't know, former Texas Tech baseball coach. He coach in high school somewhere around here, do you know?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I actually worked with one of his sons at the AJ years ago.
Okay.
And he was very proud that his dad was still recognized by that. You played in this tournament.
I did.
This is going to come up Wednesday at the coaches' luncheon because now we've got a bunch of folks that have played in that now.
Mm-hmm.
Metter won't be there. He's across town at Trinity now. But you have played in it. Mm-hmm. Chad Reynolds played in it.
Yep.
Brad Bibb, no.
Victor has.
Victor?
Yep.
And I don't know if Ralph would have come with Snyder at some point or...
I don't even know. Possibility. But man, a lot of good baseball teams come to that. It's a pretty popular tournament.
When there's a lot of good baseball teams in Lubbock, there's a reason they want to come up here and play. This is one of my favorite weeks, and I'm glad... And not that I'm wish that there were more basketball teams still playing, including the Matadors, the Tony Wagner's crew. It's fun for me now. I'll be able to be there at least for a couple of the days. I think I'll probably be busy again Friday night with Liberty basketball team. I think they'll take care of business tomorrow night and be playing in the regional championship game on Friday. But it's fun for me because I get to go. It's my first chance to go out and kind of see you guys. And I don't know about you. You probably are glad that I'm getting to see you now after you've got your feet on the ground a little bit.
Yeah, we turned over almost the entire roster last year. And, you don't know what you have until you go and play. And that first tournament, we didn't play bad. It was, it was a learning experience. I had to learn what the kids could do. Practice is one thing, scrimmages are one thing, but games are another. And we played 6 games. And we learned a lot, and I think we learned that we got a really good team, and we tweaked some things, and we had a good weekend this past week.
And you mentioned you turned over the roster quite a bit from a team that went to the 3rd or 4th round.
I think it's 3rd,
Seminole at Friendship.
Yeah, the regional semifinal.
Yep. So you guys, again, it's kind of there's certain teams I can count on that they're going to play for a while in the playoffs, and Estacado baseball has been one of those the last several years. And I know you had a few guys back from that team. You had a young man that just signed with somebody.
He signed with York College out of Nebraska. Zach and Jose, they were part of our weekend starters in the playoffs, and they both pitched a lot during the season last year. And then Christian Martinez, who was our returning shortstop.
Okay, and Zach was the pickoff specialist.
How
many was it in the playoffs?
Oh my gosh, like 7 or 8. And it was almost comical. It's like, all right, here we go. Here it is right here. And it happened.
You've coached long enough to know, when you were a pitcher back in your day, you can coach kids and say, you got to watch this left-hander, you got to be ready for this, you got to be ready. But
it's, I've coached first base before, and I'm like, go, oh, wait, all right. If they're really good, Zach Salazar, and this will be funny, but Mick Lamone were the 2 kids that could just pick anybody off at any time. Mick would drive me crazy. He would walk a guy on 4 pitches, he'd get to first and pick him off. I was like, just get him out earlier. We can, save pitches here and there. But he had a talent, a special talent as a lefty.
You're going to have plenty of pitching, and we just talked about that. You're coming off of the Levelland, I think it's the WIT Classic. Mm-hmm. What is that? I've seen that on their Twitter.
The whatever it takes.
Okay, all right. And that's kind of one of their mottos.
Yes.
And Coach Portwood out there. He's been there for a few years. Correct?
Yeah, he was an assistant, and he was been a head coach. He was an assistant under Brent Paris at Shallow Water now, so he's been there for quite a few years now.
And you guys have been to that tournament. You mentioned Shallow Water. You go to those tournaments back to back, which are really. I'm going to promote those here a little bit. This is a big weekend for Lubbock baseball because of the UMB Classic. But if you're got nothing else to do those first 2 weekends before, you get the two tournaments you guys play in it. Trinity, Lubbock Christian. I think Memorial played in.
Yeah, Memorial's played in both.
Because those are both nearby.
Bushland is a really, really good 3A team, and they came down last week, and they they showed why. Hereford is really good. They're in a really tough district and they usually make the playoffs. They're really good. They were in it. I think Seminole was in it last week. That's who we lost to. They went to state. So there's some really good teams that are in it that maybe we don't get the notoriety because it's just not promoted as much as the bigger tournament
because
here.
It kind of gets over. It's kind of like the softball tournament that gets played here the first week of the high school basketball playoffs. People are so distracted for a good reason. Mm-hmm. But if you're a baseball fan, those 2 weekends before the UMB Classic, there's a good baseball. You guys host some games. Trinity's hosted.
Trinity, Shallow Water. I think even Cooper hosted. And then, of course, Levelland's down the road, Littlefield down the road. They got great fields, great facilities. And I think that's it right there.
So just think about that for next year. I may make a point of hopefully I'm on Mondays. Well, I say that. If I'm on Mondays those first few weeks of playoffs, I'll try to mention it because that's good baseball early in the season. Before this one coming up it's a great segue for all of you guys in the district play. I know 5As have already. No, have they?
No, not yet.
Okay, so nobody started in baseball. Softball they've started, but this is like the jumping off point before you get into district and those games start to have a little bit more meaning to them for all of you. So, as I mentioned, Mark Llanas is here from Estacado. We're talking to 3 baseball coaches and then Parker Hicks, the Liberty basketball coach, because his team is still alive and well in the 4A Division II boys basketball playoffs. So we will wrap up with him tonight. We'll come back after this break, talk more Estacado baseball, talk more about the UMB Classic on the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Diving headfirst into Estacado athletics. You're listening to the Matador Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back in. This is the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score on a Monday night. First Monday in a few weeks, but we're here. We're going to be here every Monday, knock on wood, over the next several weeks until the end of the school year. We're going to have a lot of baseball to talk about during that time, a lot of softball. We'll move in some track here and there, get some soccer in here. Got your soccer team, your soccer boys had a big week last week.
They've it's been 3 weeks. I think they've won 5 and tied 1. So it's better late than never, but they're playing really well right now.
My guy Tyler Smith was a little bit down in the dumps at first, but now I get these messages. There's some exclamation points in there, so I think they're doing better.
They were kind of in the same boat as us. They turned over quite a few kids, and finally they're starting to gel, and they're playing really well.
And just like your baseball district, that's not an easy district to grow up in. You have to grow up fast. So your baseball district, you guys start into district play next week after the UMB. Mm-hmm. You guys right now are 7-3. You've got Liberty and Memorial for a year.
Yes.
And we mentioned Levelland's in your district, Snyder, Big Spring, and Lakeview. Mm-hmm. And I've asked every Estacado coach this, and I think Wag in particular likes the fact that Liberty's in there for basketball because it gives them somebody to kind of push them a little bit more. Mm-hmm. What about you? You're going to have Liberty for a few more years and then Memorial for this 1 year?
I think competition is great. Baseball is, it's a little different. The competition is great, but, it's just one of those deals where it's so spread out with, you got to have pitching.
Yep.
And last year we did, I think the bats were a little hit and miss for a little bit. But, Liberty helped us so much, even though we lost 3 times. We lost the lead late twice to them last year. And that was just a great learning experience for us. And then we get in the playoffs, and then we win those games late. Just how we lost them, we won them. So I think Liberty, made us better. We didn't win any against them, but it made us better for the playoffs.
I remember one of those games went late into the night.
Oh, my gosh. Yes, it did.
It got delayed at the beginning, it delayed in the middle.
It did. It was a long one. It was a windstorm, lightning delay. It was everything. And, it was just one of those we didn't hang on, lost it in the last at-bat. So, but, great learning experience, and we'll take it.
This week at the UMB, Estacado will be one of the hosts. Is it everybody in town? Basically,
yes.
At some point, everybody hosts a day of games.
Yes.
You guys start out on Thursday, which you're not wading into the shallow end. You start with Plainview right away, then El Paso Burgess, which seems like are always in the playoffs.
They are.
And then those two play, and then on Friday, back at Matador Field, you'll have Odessa High. We were just talking about Odessa. You surprised me there. Hector Lamone, Estacado legend, is now the head coach at Odessa High.
Yeah, funny how that works, but he's the head coach out there, and he'll get them turned around, and he'll do good things for those guys, and he'll get those guys in the playoffs. It won't be long.
I'm not going to age Hector too much because I think he and I may be roughly the same age, but he's got to be. If he's not 60, it's not far off.
I think he's pretty close. I'm trying to think. I couldn't remember when I started. He might have been early 40s. So, and I was 22-ish. So, I mean, it's there-ish.
See, I'm not going to age you either. So.
It's all right.
Have you ever coached against Victor or Hector?
When he was at Brownfield and Littlefield, I think we ended up in a tournament. They were in our district, actually, for a year or two, I think. So he was there for those 2 years, and I think we played, yes.
And you were still pretty young back then. Is it a little surreal when you look across the field and see the guy that you started with?
I don't know. It is, and then it won't be. Because I think he'll be the same way. At the end of the day, our goal is to try to get as many wins as we can and get these kids better. And we'll shake hands before, and then we'll coach, and then we'll shake hands after, and then we'll go about our way.
I was joking about my late father-in-law, who was this radio guy called Hector. You and rain delays. You got to tell your guys just be patient. Eventually, he'll get done.
Hey, I was the pitching coach when he was there. I was there for every delay. Believe me.
There you go. And you guys play the Friday. You finish up by playing Seminole, the team you met in the playoffs, that's been not necessarily a rivalry because there's some distance, but you guys have played them in the playoffs a few times.
We have. We played them 3 or 4 years ago. We were able to win that one. Great tournament, and we scrimmage each other every year. So it's one of those deals where, we see each other quite a bit. Friendly rival, I guess. But this one might meet a little bit more just because last year they're the ones that put us out to go to the regional finals.
And that's one of those West Texas towns where they take their baseball serious. It's a big deal. It's a great facility down there. Mm-hmm. And then you finish up Saturday with another good test against the shallow water team that's always good. It seems like in everything, but they're really good in baseball.
We're very fortunate that we were able to push a few across late, and we were able to get them in that line drive tournament, but they're really good. They're going to be. They'll have a chance to go to state with some of the kids they got.
Well, we're going to get Mark on here again. I wanted to talk about the tournament. Next time he comes on, we're going to talk about his guys in district and get a few more names out there for those guys. Coming up on a break, we're going to come back after this in the Plainsman Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.